Hey there, I never thought I'd be sharing a story like this, but here goes. A few months ago, I had an unnerving encounter on Instagram that opened my eyes to the dark side of social media. It all started innocently enough. I'm an avid traveler and love posting photos from my trips. I had amassed a decent following of like-minded individuals who shared my passion for exploring new places. One day, I noticed a new follower, let's call them X. They had a private account with only a few posts, all of which were scenic landscapes and travel-related quotes. Seemed harmless, right? I accepted the request, and that's when things took a weird turn. X began commenting on my posts, and not just generic comments. They referenced specific details from my captions or photos that I hadn't mentioned anywhere else. At first, I was flattered that someone was paying such close attention to my content. But soon, the comments started getting too personal for comfort. They would mention places I had visited but never posted about, or events I had attended without sharing online. I brushed it off initially, thinking maybe they were just really invested in my travel experiences. But then things escalated. X started referencing my daily routine, describing where I went for work, what coffee shop I visited in the morning, even what I wore on certain days. It was like they were right there with me, even though I had never met them in person. I grew increasingly uneasy, feeling like my privacy was being invaded. I blocked X, hoping that would put an end to it. But they created new accounts and continued to follow me, leaving even more unsettling comments. I considered going private, but I didn't want to let this person dictate how I used my own social media account. Eventually, I decided to confront them. I sent a direct message, politely asking them to stop their behavior and explaining how uncomfortable it made me. Their response was chilling. They claimed to be a dedicated fan who admired me and saw nothing wrong with showing their appreciation by keeping tabs on my life. They even mentioned specific conversations I had with my friends in private messages, proving they had somehow infiltrated my online circles. I was beyond creeped out and scared for my safety. I reported all of their accounts to Instagram, but the cat and mouse game continued. They would disappear for a while, only to resurface with a new account and even more invasive comments. In the end, I ended up going private, blocking and reporting any account that seemed suspicious. It was disheartening to lose some of the engagement and connection I had with my genuine followers, but my peace of mind was more important. This experience changed my perspective on social media. It's easy to forget that behind the screen, there are real people with real intentions, both good and bad. I'm much more cautious now about what I share online and who I allow into my virtual world. It's unfortunate that a platform meant to connect us can also be a breeding ground for unwanted intrusion. So, if you ever feel like someone is crossing the line online, trust your instincts. Your privacy and safety are worth more than any number of followers or likes. Hey everyone, I wanted to share a chilling experience I had on Instagram that really opened my eyes to the dangers of oversharing on social media. It all started innocently enough. I'm a food blogger and love sharing pictures of my culinary creations. I had built a decent following of fellow food enthusiasts who loved my recipes and presentation. A few months ago, I received a direct message from someone I didn't recognize. Let's call them mystery user. They complimented my food photography and mentioned how they loved following my posts. Flattered, I thanked them, and we struck up a casual conversation about our favorite dishes. As days went by, our conversations became more personal. Mystery user started asking about my day-to-day life, my favorite restaurants in town, and even my work schedule. At first, I didn't think much of it. I was just happy to connect with someone who shared my passion for food. But then they began mentioning things that I hadn't shared on my public profile, like the name of my workplace, the gym I frequented, and even my regular coffee shop. Alarms started going off in my head, and I became increasingly uncomfortable. It was clear that mystery user had been digging deep into my posts and piecing together information about my life. I decided to put an end to the conversation and unfollowed them, hoping that would be the end of it. But it didn't stop there. Mystery user created new accounts and continued messaging me. They would refer to details from my personal life that I had never shared on Instagram. It felt like they were tracking my movements and routines without my knowledge. I felt violated and exposed. I realized that my passion for sharing my food journey had inadvertently given this person a window into my life. I started receiving anonymous emails containing photos of myself in various public places, at the park, at the mall, even sitting in my car. I knew it had to be mystery user behind it, and the fear was consuming me. I finally mustered the courage to confront them. I told them that their behavior was invasive and unacceptable, and I demanded that they stop contacting me. Their response was unsettling. They claimed to be a secret admirer who was just trying to show their appreciation for my creativity and dedication. I immediately blocked and reported every account they used to contact me, and I also went through my own account to remove any personal information that I might have inadvertently shared. It was a tough decision, but I also made my account private to limit access to my posts. Looking back, I can't believe how naive I was about the potential risks of sharing too much on social media. It's easy to get caught up in the validation and connections we make, but we also have to be vigilant about protecting our personal boundaries. I've learned the hard way that oversharing can have serious consequences, and now I'm much more cautious about what I reveal online. So, if you're out there sharing your passions like I was, remember to stay aware of the information you're putting out there. It's a fine line between sharing and oversharing, and you never know who might be lurking in the shadows taking advantage of your openness.